Morning. We just left the A591 and parked up behind Bassenthwaite in a small lay-by. Fits about 3 or 4 cars. Where today we're going to head up Skiddaw via its northwest ridge. We're going to cross the top, come down Carlside and then down Ullock Pike. It's a beautiful morning. There's the Vale of Lawton and Bassenthwaite behind me. Skiddaw itself's clagged at the moment. It's up there somewhere. There's Ullock Pike and the watches. It absolutely poured down through the night, but it was given a good forecast. So I checked the webcam out about 5 o'clock this morning. Skiddaw was clear, blue skies, the sun was just rising, so up we got, and we're here now. I think it's about 6:45 now. When you leave the lay-by, head up the road, uphill, and take your first right through a farm gate and onto the fell side, which will take us eventually just below Ullock Pike. Follow the stone wall all the way to the corner where you'll find a gate right below Ullock Pike. Immediately through the gate, start heading back down the wall to your left, where we'll eventually cross the gill by a ford, and we'll start heading up onto the northwest ridge, which is just here. It heads up past RANDEL Crag and Gibraltar Crag and kind of tops out more or less bang in the middle of the ridge of Skiddaw on the summit. And if you think the screes up and down from Carlside are steep, wait till you see these ones. It's a bit of a tough ascent, but nothing technical, just very steep, hard ground. And here's the ford, crosses the beck and starts heading up onto that ridge, the northwest ridge. It's not a massively popular route, but if you're wanting a short route to the summit of Skiddaw, it's probably the shortest descent you'll get. It's the steepest, but gets you up there quick, and the entire walk is only about 6 miles. Ullock Pike now across the gill. Our descent later on today. So we're on the ridge now, and as you can see, there's a good clear footpath or quad bike track runs along the centre of the ridge. This little lump in front of us here is called Great Knott, and then we'll head up over Buzzard Knott, and then the higher one just there below the clag is RANDEL Crag. Gibraltar Crag somewhere in the mist. Skiddaw's slowly clearing. I'm hoping by the time we get up to RANDEL Crag things might have cleared off a bit. we're just approaching RANDEL Crag. Just after RANDEL Crag there's a flat section for about 100 yards, and if you think this is steep, wait till you get past that flat section. It gets real steep. There's our ridge we came up. Don't veer left and head into Gibraltar Crag. It's even steeper ground than what we're going to go up. Dangerous ground, so keep well right of Gibraltar Crag. Approaching RANDEL Crag. It's not a summit, but it does have a cairn up here, a very old ancient looking cairn, although the last time I was up here it was a lot more pointy, so it looks as though it's fell down. And there's a very atmospheric skidder ahead of us. As you'll have just noticed from my time lapse, the summit has just cleared, so let's get up there. Hopefully we'll get some views. So the path starts getting very sketchy from this point. Basically we're looking for our easiest way up through this scree. That's Gibraltar Crag around that shoulder. That's where you don't want to be. You want to be heading up through this steep scree just here somewhere. We got about 600 feet to go before we hit the summit. There's RANDEL Crag now behind me. You can also see Bassenthwaite now behind the ridge of Ullock Pike. You might find sketchy little bits of path on the way up through the scree. It's very easy to stray off it, so if you can find a bit of path, try and keep on it. It's not a route that I've ever came down. I wouldn't want to come down this way. The scree is very slippy today. As I said, there was a lot of rain last night, so the sun hasn't got it dried out yet. Broad end over there to the left of me. Some real angry looking atmospheric skies. And Ullock Pike to the right. And the Rockstar. You make it look so easy, lad. If you like tough routes, if you like easy routes, if you like long routes, if you like short routes, if you just like mountains, hit that subscribe button, people. Very much appreciated. Thank you for all the support I've had over the last almost 2 years since I started making videos. Absolutely delighted with how my channel's going. The feedback is just phenomenal, so keep it going for me, guys, because I'm here for the duration. I ain't going anywhere. Only place I'm going is the top of my mountain. If you don't use it, you lose it. I intend to go for as many years as I can. So if you've got any suggestions, anything you'd like to see me doing, any routes, any hills, just drop me a comment and let me know, and I'll see what I can come up with. We're not far from the summit now. We're on the plateau. I can see the Trig Point and the Jubilee Memorial. Skiddaw's England's 4th highest mountain, 931 metres. It's a Wainwright, a Burkitt, a Hewitt, a Nuttall and a Madeline. And there's the summit. And there's the view along the ridge. We're going to head along the ridge. I'm not going to highlight its multiple Burkitt summits. We're going to get to the end of the ridge, drop down to Calcite Tarn, and then over Ullock Pike, which is now down there below us. This is the middle top. It's only 2 metres lower than the summit, 928 metres. Below us is Little Man, in and out of the Crag, and straight ahead of us there is Skiddaw's South Top. That's where we're going to take a right turn and start dropping down into Calcite. And there, just appearing through the mist and Crag, is Blencathra and the Mungrisdale Common and the Northern Hills High Pike. Just by this cairn here, we're going to start dropping down in the direction of Ullock Pike, down there below us. You can just see the path veering off to Calcite, and in a second or two we'll see the tiny little tarn of Calcite Tarn, in and out of the Crag. There's the cairn we're looking for right in front of us, that drops us down another notoriously steep scree path. Here it is. Like I said earlier, if you think this one's bad, the one we came up is far steeper. From the top to the bottom. There's Derwentwater and Keswick just clearing. We're going to head for Longside Edge, just over there, and Ullock Pike. Beautiful down here. We're just in the Col of Carlside. There's the tiny tarn, and you can maybe make out a couple of people on the summit of Carlside. We're not going to do Carlside, we're going to go and head straight across to Longside. Come on, lad. So this is Longside Edge, and below us now we can see our route from this morning up the northwest ridge there, then the steep ground up onto RANDEL Crag, and then that flat section, and then the steep scree all the way to the summit of Skiddaw. The summit of Longside, 734 metres. It's a Wainwright, a Burkitt, a Hewitt and a Nuttall. We're going to head down to Ullock Pike. the summit of Ullock Pike, 690 metres. It's a Wainwright and a Burkitt. We'll drop off the end of the ridge down to the Watches, which is quite an interesting little outcrop of rocks below Ullock Pike, and then we'll drop back down the way we came, through that gate, across the field, and then back to the lay-by we parked in. As you can see, the heather's just starting to bloom. A week or so and it'll be looking fantastic. I think we're going to get a good year this year. Heather likes a nice wet summer and then a nice hot dry spell, so hopefully if we get a bit of dry and hot, we'll get a real good show from it. So we're here at the bottom of the ridge now nearly, and right at the bottom of the ridge we've got the Watches. That's the Watches just over there. The Watches is also a summit. It's a Burkitt and it's a lovely little place just to chill out really. You get a fantastic sunset from up here and it's not too far away from the car. You'd probably be up onto the Watches in half an hour. So here we are at the Watches, and what a fantastic little outcrop of rocks it is. The summit is a Burkitt and it's just up here at the highest point just beyond them rocks, and it's 333 metres. We'll drop off the end of the ridge and back down to the gate at the fell wall. And here's our gate where we started this morning. So I'm going to wrap my video up here and say thank you for watching. The walk was about 6 miles. I hope you enjoyed Skiddaw's Northwest Ridge. It's a steep one, a tough old climb, but one of my favourites. In fact, could be my favourite route onto Skiddaw. It's certainly the shortest circular route you'll find onto Skiddaw. Yeah, if you like my content, please think about giving me a subscribe. A big thank you to all my subscribers for the support, and I'll see you next time. Take care, stay safe. And it's a big goodbye from the rock star. Oi, you taking notice? No? Looking at sheep again, aren't you? I always put him back on the lead when we get back below the fell wall. Although you've seen in the past he's very good with sheep. They'll just do you look, and he's not really that bothered. It's more so out of respect for the farmers, you know. Not every dog's a good dog. Keep your dog on the lead in the fields below the fell wall and everybody will be happy. Parking in the lay-by just above the A591, signposted Ormthwaite, we head across the fields and through the gate above the fell wall. We then started to ascend Skiddaw's northwest ridge, eventually reaching RANDEL Crag. From RANDEL Crag we steeply head up the scree directly to the summit of Skiddaw. Crossing the ridge we then drop down into Carlside and then head back up onto Longside, dropping back down to Ullock Pike and then all the way down the ridge to the Watches. From Watches we head back through the gate, across the fields and back to the car.